Hey guys, Elf here, from Princess Tutu, the Abridged series.
I'm Blade.
Toss here.
I'm Walker.
This is our 1-year anniversary special that we made just for you. Woo! We've been doing this for a year. We have no lives. Yes, we're also doing this because we have finished season 1.
Yay!
Woo! We have no lives.
Bottles of champagne.
Thank you. Basically what we're doing here is we are on the way to go see a ballet.
Yay! So this special has been titled PTA Goes to the Ballet.
For real this time. Yeah, actually, I've been going to see the Nutcracker Ballet here for a while, but this is Blade's first time since...
I was 6, and the only part of it I remember is getting out of the car in my fancy dress.
This is the sort of thing that Blade usually remembers.
It's true.
Well, it was hard to get out of the car in my fancy dress.
What sort of car were you in?
The fancy dress was the actual reason I had trouble, rather than
The car.
Oh, does anybody want me to talk? Yes.
Yes, Walker, why don't you tell us about your ballet experience?
Well, I went to see the Nutcracker a couple times, and that's it.
Do you like ballet?
No.
Yes, well, ballet, and everything associated with it. It's basically the only topic of Princess Tutu that carries coherently through the entire series.
How was the last time you went to see the Nutcracker, by the way?
Really disconcerting, because I kept recognizing all the music in comparison to what was happening in Princess Tutu.
And every time they played that music, I just imagined Drosselmeyer spinning around in that clock. And
With his tea.
the Nutcracker March? Yeah.
Speaking of which, Drosselmeyer is in fact a character in the Nutcracker, which is really creepy, because in the Nutcracker, he's a really nice guy.
Apparently he's not a nice guy.
Apparently. Alright. Here are some questions, our frequently asked questions special. These are the things you guys kept bugging us about.
Now, first frequently asked question. Some of you may be asking right now, like, right now, wait, I thought they were doing a comment special for their anniversary special. That was actually a lie. So you see, we wanted to do a comment special after our musical episode. So putting that in the episode 11 comments was really just a surreptitious way of sneaking it underneath you just so we can answer questions about that episode 12.
That was a good episode.
Yes.
Except for the part where I was in it.
You were amazing, Elle.
Oh, hush. So, another one of the frequently asked questions is, how many episodes are you guys going to do? 26, like in the series.
It's going to be one episode per episode. It's going to be the same episode. We're not combining. We're not splitting. If there's a 2-part episode, it will be some episode blank part 1 and episode blank part 2.
We have a problem with that. Mostly the reason that we're not going to try to condense it down into fewer episodes than 26 is because we already have a noticeable problem with length.
Length, yes. Most of you may be saying, okay, you're in a Abridged series. Why aren't your episodes like 8 minutes long? And the answer is...
They are 8 minutes long, but when you stick on the stuff at the beginning and the end, it comes out more like 10 minutes.
Not exactly. It's more like 9 minutes before we stick all the stuff on. So, if you think about it, we have between a 20 and 40-second story at the beginning of every episode. Then we have a 40-second opening, it's actually 35 seconds. A 15-second closing. And our after-credit special, you know, varies. But, so the actual solid episode is probably about 9 minutes, and that adds up to an additional 2 minutes almost.
Yeah, we run out of time a lot. My bad, guys. My bad.
It's okay. The worst episode we ever had was written by me.
Ha 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 ha. Okay.
It was your own fault for not being there.
Shut up.
I wrote over Thanksgiving. I worked overtime for this series.
You're so committed, Blade. I commend you. Another question we keep being asked is, how are you guys so funny?
Yeah, Elf, how do you come up with your jokes anyway?
Well, you see, what I do is I take a squirrel and I kill it, and then I slit open its belly in the middle of a pentagram. I take out its entrails and put them in a bowl of water. I feel around in there for a while, and then I just feel the jokes. I know them. That's how I get them all. I'm like, oh, we should make a Kanye West reference. Thanks, squirrel. Who doesn't get their jokes that way?
In a more serious thing, you guys, the question how you come up with your jokes is really, there's no way to answer that because we're just really funny people. Okay.
With funny faces.
Example.
We also laugh at ourselves a lot. You may have noticed. It's because we're so damn funny.
With funny faces. It's so true.
Anyway, so, as I was saying, we're such funny people that actually a lot of our jokes come from just the weird parts of our lives. So, especially the early jokes. In the early episodes, the amount of in-jokes that are just like repeated from our lives are so high. And then there's things like the ballerina mafia where I don't even know where that came from. Where did that come from?
Well, we're gonna go with the squirrel thing because I don't really know. We'd also like to talk about our so famous musical episode. I'm sure you all loved it so much because we're such good singers.
Actually, we don't know whether you loved it because we're going to be posting it in the future.
Yeah, this is the past right now. Hello, we're the past. How are you guys? Well, confusion aside,
So, assuming that you guys absolutely loved our musical episode, and in fact had the same opinion of it that we have, and hopefully that we didn't have a horrible backlash for copying Eduardo, which would be sad. We really love his work tonight.
well, a few of the big problems we had with the musical episode was, well, firstly, I had some trouble with fitting enough syllables or too few syllables into the lines.
Let's start with from the beginning. The musical episode, we decided on what song we were parodying and where it would go before we wrote them. And then we wrote the songs, and then after we wrote the songs, we sang them. This sounds great, except that we forgot to cross-reference, you know, people's actual musical range with what we had them sing.
The only one who was in his range was Walker, who is in fact a boy soprano.
Although Lex also had not a bad time, as she's a high alto, and the song we gave her was a low soprano.
Yeah, you see, I am actually a very low alto, or tenor if you would, but Blade is a very, very high soprano, but I've written her in a very low alto range while writing myself in a high soprano range. And poor Runin, that was a problem because
A baritone, and you had him singing tenor the whole time.
yes, he had some difficulty with singing the right notes at the right time. Actually, he just had difficulty singing.
Yeah, he also had a cold, which can't have helped.
Okay, you know what? You're not even gonna go there with me about having a cold and singing because I was like unable to talk for the previous week before that episode, and I still managed to squeak out Green Finch and Linnet Bird.
You were amazing.
Oh, that was awful.
Bad me for replaying, by the way.
Yeah, and I'm not allowed to listen to that anymore because I may in fact kill myself from such low self-esteem.
Actually, it sounds pretty good from an unbiased.
Shut up.
No, not the demo one. You heard the demo one.
Yeah.
Another question we are often asked is, why are you abridging Princess Tutu?
And you know what? Our answer to that is, why are we abridging Princess Tutu?
It's
It
your
was
fault.
just the one that we got clips of and watched.
The actual thing happened a bit like this. Elf and I used to voice act in Death Note Abridged, which we will gladly demonstrate our voices for. Your Rem, please.
I have a really awesome genderless voice, but no one ever got to hear it because we didn't get that far.
Similarly, I had a Misa voice, which I liked using a lot, and somehow got converted into my Lilier voice, although being slightly different as it's slightly lower.
Blade is also currently voice acting on another Death Note Abridged series. Woo, there are too many of those. Yeah, and after that we decided that we really liked abridging, and we wanted to make one of our own. But I don't have any technical skills, so Blade got to figure out that whole shebang.
Yeah, and we were kind of like, oh, we don't even know what we want to abridge yet. And I think we actually had some ideas. But, I mean, they were the ideas, like, that everyone had. Full Metal Alchemist Abridged, too many characters. Death Note Abridged, we just thought about striking out our own. But the real problem with that is that we were just the female auxiliaries to the full team. They were guys. They could do Death Note Abridged. We considered doing a Death Note Abridged entirely voiced by a girl. Which would have been interesting.
Oh, the yaoi fangirls are having a heyday with this.
Oddly enough, we do not support yaoi, really, unless it's hilarious.
Or sexy.
Oh, that's the thing to mention, guys. Honestly, one of the jokes that comes up in a lot of Princess Tutu is even the people in the DVD comics cat is the hoye between Fakir and Muto. And a lot of people wonder why we don't play that up so much. The truth is, it's too easy. So we're avoiding it on purpose.
I mean, come on, you watch the series, and you know, I think that there's something to be said for watching the series and looking for the jokes that are obvious, but there's also something to be said for looking at those and saying, that's too obvious. Let's do something else. So, Kiki and Lilier being sadistic is the obvious thing to do. We took it to the logical extreme, them being the mob.
By the way, guys, episode 9. Apparently you guys dropped the ball with the British accent. We're sorry! We won't do it again!
Let us explain about the British accent. So, the Fakir jumps in at the end through the window at the end of the episode, even though it's really clear he could have come in through the door.
Doorknobs are his one true weakness too.
Even Pretty comes in through the window flying magic, but she opens it first.
So we're all like, why did Fakir jump through the window? And then we thought about it, and then we're all like, okay, why did Fakir really come through the window? Because we can't use the actual reason. It doesn't make any sense. Let's make something really weird happening, because, I mean, you guys already know that Fakir is genre savvy. You'll know it as schizo Fakir, because he's supposedly schizophrenic, because he sees all of the narrative trappings. But it's actually that he's genre savvy and he sees all the stuff that's going on in Drosselmeyer's story.
Please go read TV Tropes now.
Yes, okay. There's going to be a link when this comes up here. This will definitely be in there. There's going to be a link to TV Tropes. I request that every single one of you goes to TV Tropes, and every time we say a trope, we're just going to have the trope appear. And it'll link to it.
And you guys have to take a shot of Taslin's champagne.